It's a sad one for Great Britain as their superstar athlete Dina Smith has withdrawn from the Commonwealth Games that is set to begin on the 10th of August, and this is as a result of the light hamstring strain she suffered during the 4x100 meters relay final at the just concluded World Athletics Championship. Now that final took place on Monday, which is about 2 days ago, yes, and you had Dina Smith pull up injured during the final as she had to battle with injuries, and this came just a few days after she won a bronze medal in the 200 meters. Now for Dina Smith, it must be said that she won a bronze medal at the last Commonwealth Games that was hosted in Australia, so she won't be able to defend a bronze medal this time around, and she was also part of Great Britain's gold medal winning team when it comes to the 4x100 meters relay. So that's definitely a big miss for the relay team for the Great Britain, but I'm sure they will be working towards getting getting a replacement for her in the team. Let's see how that pans out. It will be intriguing to see how the 200 meters pans out, especially in the women's category, because the likes of Shelley Ann Fraser-Pryce, Shericka Jackson, who is the fastest woman alive over 200 meters, as well as Ellen Thompson-Herrera, will all be in the mix for a title. The Commonwealth Games this year is taking place in Birmingham, and it will definitely be electrifying. Right about now, it's all about women's game, from football to cricket. It's all about women's sport at this point in time. The latest is that the International Cricket Board, that's the ICC, has announced that England will host the women's T20 World Cup by 2026. You had the ICC announce 4 different hosts over the course of from 2024 to 2027, with England having the hosting rights for that of 2026. Bangladesh now will host that of the 2024 edition, it must be said, and it will be their first women's tournament when it comes to hosting various competitions. Now the 50-over World Cup will then be hosted by India in 2025, while you have Sri Lanka hosting a T20 championship trophy by 2027, although that is subject to Sri Lanka qualifying for that competition. So the 2026 edition will be in June in England, and to have 12 teams competing as against 10, and there will be 33 games on display. So it will be an expanded women's T20 competition that England will be hosting by 2026. Let's see how that pans out. Remember, South Africa will be hosting that of next year, which is 2023, and it's February next year precisely. So it should come good for Africa in terms of cricket, women's game especially. There's the need to broaden the stretches of the women's game right here in Africa. So let's see how well South Africa is able to host the T20 Women's World Cup come February next year. Athletics Championship that ended right there at Oregon in the United States. That was the decathlon event, and it was Frenchman Maya who went home with a gold medal. I'm talking about 10 different events, one individual. It must be said, we get carried away oftentimes with the dashes, like your Shelley Ann Fraser-Pryce winning the 100 meters and what have you, and we do not pay as much attention as we should to athletes who participate in heptathlon as well as decathlon, where they have to combine 7 different sports or 10 different sports. It's all about endurance, and the Frenchman showed that in abundance right there at Oregon. It's on that note I say good afternoon and welcome to another edition of the show. It is the midweek edition of the Arena, and I'm Samson Olede. Promises to be another exciting time, even as we keep you abreast of the latest commercial side of sports. Now let's start with sports business news, and we'll start with the world of football. Now Fulham have named betting brand W88 as their new principal partner and main shirt sponsor for the 2022-2023 English top flight football season. The newly promoted Premier League outfit have described the new agreement as a record deal. The last time Fulham were in the Premier League during the 2020-2021 season, their deal with BetVictor was worth £3 million a year. W88's logo will feature on the front of the men's and women's team kits, with the brand also securing inventory at Fulham's Craven Cottage home, as well as across the club's digital channels. In addition, W88 will get LED board promotion during matches and integration into club content. W88 replaces World Mobile as Fulham's principal partner after the club recently reworked their agreement in a move which sees the blockchain firm become the sleeve sponsor for the coming season. Now, the Cottagers' new kit, which will feature both W88 and World Mobile's updated branding, will be revealed on the 29th of July. Well, still talking football, but this time around in the world of gaming and esports, Juventus have announced a new multi-year partnership with EA Sports, which will see the Italian football giants return to the FIFA video game title. The Bianconeri will feature in FIFA 23, the latest edition of the game, when it launches on the 30th of September. The agreement also designates EA Sports as Juventus' exclusive sports video gaming partner, with in-gaming integrations including the club's Allianz Stadium home, as well as official marks and kits. Now, the partnership also includes a host of lifestyle and cultural initiatives outside of gaming. In addition, men's team star Dusan Lajovic will become an ambassador for FIFA 23, while club legend Claudio Marchisio is set to join the game as a foot hero. Juventus have been absent from EA Sports title since 2019 due to an exclusive partnership with rival gaming firm Konami, and were replaced by Piemonte Calcio, a fictional club featuring the team's players for the last 3 editions of the FIFA game. Still talking esports and gaming, Microsoft reported $51.9 billion in revenue in fiscal fourth quarter, marking its slowest revenue growth since 2020 as it undergoes the approval process for the biggest gaming acquisition in history. The tech giants generated $198.3 billion in revenue in the fiscal year 2022, which is an 18% uptick compared to the same period last year. Full-year operating income reached $83.4 billion, growing by 18%. Microsoft Cloud posted $25 billion in revenue in the fourth quarter, which is a 28% increase year over year. Its personal computing segment, which includes Xbox, saw revenue hit $14.4 billion in fourth quarter. Now, Xbox content and services reported a 6% decrease in revenue compared to the fourth quarter of 2021. Gaming revenue also fell by $259 million in fiscal fourth quarter 2022, a 7% decline year over year. Now, Microsoft attributed the drop in gaming revenue to a decrease in Xbox hardware sales, which was compounded by the decline in Xbox content and services revenue in the fourth quarter. The company, like many others in tech, has suffered from the ongoing semiconductor shortage. And wrapping up sports business news at this time, France is currently looking at a total tab of at least $8.6 billion, up from an initial estimate of $6.9 billion to host the 2024 Olympics. Inflation, which hit 6.5% last month in France, could bring the cost to more than $10 billion, mainly due to increased costs of shipping and materials. The country is also beefing up its plant security with 11,000 police officers on the ground each day and up to 25,000 security agents. Organizers are focused on inclusion, highlighted by the slogan Games Wide Open, and plans to use the games to highlight LGBTQ rights, gender equality, and disabled people's rights. Now, prices for each sport will start around $24 and close to half the tickets, which will go for around $50 or less. Paulo Dybala being unveiled as a new AS Roma player right there to thousands, hundreds of thousands, in fact, of fans for Roma, and it was an iconic sight. Clubs are now reinventing how they make presentations of players to the fans, and that was definitely a sight to behold. I'm sure Paulo Dybala felt the love. More importantly, he will be raring to go when it comes to giving his best to his new club. Remember, he made the switch from Juventus on a free transfer and signed up till 2025.